Asian hate?
Well, I really support, standing up for my rights, but also like just helping out, and also I don't know. I think it's like I've never really said anything about it until now, and I think last year it really showed what an important issue it is.
And have you suffered any East Asian racism or anything like that?
Unfortunately, like maybe when I was younger, like in school, but like my parents always told me to brush it off, so I never really like said anything. And then like with COVID-19 coming around, like I actually had people like young slurs at me, like things that I never thought would actually happen, and stuff like they call me coronavirus or like go back to my country, and it's just weird because I've never thought about that because I was born here as well,
So, what do you hope to come out of today?
One, I guess more awareness, and two, I hope it's like the start of big but slow and drastic change as well. Because I want people to actually remember and actually know about the issues that we're facing, and it's not something that should just brush off.
I wanted to support my fellow British East Asian brothers and sisters to sort of spread this message of racial hate that's been happening towards East and Southeast Asians, and bring awareness to that. And I grew up in a Chinese takeaway, like a lot of other British Chinese people did, and we had bricks, eggs thrown at our shop. We've had people sort of hurl abuse at us, and this is just day to day. We always grew up with that fear of having someone hurl racial abuse at us, and also knowing that there might not be anyone around to stand up for us or to call it out. My time in London and during the sort of pandemic, I've not experienced that much racism from people. I think maybe the small microaggressions that sort of happened during the pandemic, those moments are just sort of a bit more like they happen a bit more often. What I was hoping to come out of the Protest to Protect event is that this discussion of racism towards East and Southeast Asian people is more talked about. We can educate people more on why it's happening, we can talk about the history of like racism towards East Asian and Southeast Asian people, and also how we can combat that.
Hi, my name's Nicola. I'm here because I'm standing in solidarity with my East Asian brothers and sisters against anti-East Asian racism.
And have you actually experienced East Asian racism?
Yes, I have. During the start of the coronavirus, I've been asked whether I had the virus at all, and a few months ago I was called a chink on the street, which is not very nice. And work, just generally in my work experiences, a lot of microaggressions come through. So yeah, and there's still a long way to go, which is why I'm here.
And what would you like to actually come out of today?
I want us to walk away knowing that there is always a community behind us, that we're always part of something really big. I think the past few months have obviously distanced everybody from the coronavirus and social distancing and being in our homes and stuff, but we're still mobilized and mobilizable, and there is a lot of power and togetherness and unity, which is great.
With all my friends that experience racism in Brighton. I'm based in Brighton, and usually to be really careful in the public space. Yeah, that's why I'm here today. For me, it's like I hope to raise the awareness of racism.
So why are you here today?
I'm here today to show solidarity among the Chinese community and also Southeast Asian community, which we are has been marginalized, ill-treated by the politician, ignored, don't care our interests, especially ever since COVID-19. We have been bullied, we have been discriminated in every aspect of our life.
Have you experienced any East Asian hate towards yourself?
Yes, in the past, yes. Right in front of my eye, I witnessed old lady as she walked past a market. A rotten fruit had been thrown behind her for no apparent reason. I hope the main media will be aware of what we have been treated in this community. Treat us equally. We're not asking for anything extra, but just a member of the community, same as any other people.
Oh, I'm here to support and let my voice heard because we've been silent for far too long and the media doesn't even show all the harassment and hate that my community's been getting. So this is a way and a platform for our voices to be heard. Well, over the COVID pandemic, I've experienced microaggressions, but not, very aggressive ones. But it's there, yeah. Well, I'm just really happy how the crowd turnout came to be because it goes to show that there is solidarity, especially with COVID when everyone's been feeling so isolated. This is a great way to see that no, we're not isolated, we're actually united, and there's also non-Asian, Southeast Asian people that are supporting, so it gives me hope, it gives me hope.
I'm just here to support the East and Southeast Asian community because I'm Chinese myself, and there's obviously lots happened in our community over the year, and a lot of us feel attacked. I think early on in the pandemic, there was a girl actually in a supermarket who said coronavirus towards me. It's one of those things where I had to do a double take. I didn't even realise it was happening. So fortunately for me, there hasn't been any significant incidents, but I know my brother has had kind of verbal abuse during the pandemic. I think it's two things. I think it's just to raise awareness in the general population. I don't know how widely this is going to be circulated and shared, but for people to understand that our issues are real and they shouldn't be minimised. And I think secondly, it's great to see a lot of young people here. I'm not so young now, but it's great to see, I guess, the next generation of British, East and Southeast Asians, I guess, being more active and doing the things that possibly I could have done when I was younger, but I didn't really have the motivation to do.